For me, I guess I've worked as a business partner and now in a business, and I know a couple of us here have done that as well, but the greatest compliment anyone used to give me when I was in a finance role was, and no disrespect to finance people because I still consider myself one of them, was, you're not like a typical finance person. And I think that was because for me, the best business partners I've worked with on either side of the fence are people that really immerse themselves in the business and work with the business and then say, how does my function enable the business? And I've worked in models where, smaller businesses where we have, support services within the team, and then I've worked in larger businesses where support services service from the centre and back into divisions. And irrespective of the structure, the best capability and the best relationships have always been people that put that structure aside and actually work side by side with all of their people in the team to say, well, how do we get on and get things done? And that's been the most valuable for me.
I think what's important to note also, it means different things to different people, and it means different things to different businesses. So there's no clear one-size-fits-all answer with this. And I guess how I respond to this situation is, understanding where am I operating and where do I think I can best influence to ensure the business delivers on its objectives. So for me, when I'm in a new role or I'm looking at a different part of the business, it's really important to do that situational analysis and just understand where can I best impact to deliver the most to not only the strategic objectives, but to the bottom line.
I think first and foremost is being good listeners. So at the end of the day, and I mean not just actually amongst colleagues, but at the core of a business. So in Caltex, we are a retail business. Well, certainly that's the side of the business that I look after. And so at the end of the food chain, the most important part of the food chain are our sites and our customers. And I think sometimes it's very easy to get caught up in a support office environment and think that you have all the answers and all the solutions there, but ultimately that can all go to custard if you're not servicing that end customer. So having a good awareness about listening at the front line as well as obviously behind the scenes about what's required.
Yeah, a lot of those points resonated with me too. And I think the one skill that all of us as business partners can focus on is challenging respectfully. So you all have the knowledge. So you're actually in the front seat because you've got the data, you're in the data, you've got detailed insight into what's really happening in the business. So it's taking that knowledge and learning the skill of challenging respectfully.
I've been really lucky, I think. So a bit like Goodman Fielder, we're going through a fairly large transformation. I would say Caltex is transforming from being a traditional fuel company to a retail company. And that's no small cultural shift. So if you think about traditional fuel companies, it's a heavily process, compliance-oriented, industrial manufacturing type background, and retail is all about softer skills in some respect and a focus on a very different end customer. But I've been very fortunate in my journey at Caltex. I started there in November, and I've had very good business partners, some of which are sitting in this room today, which quite frankly helped me out big time early on, because whilst I have a retail background, petrol and convenience, certainly the petrol side was very new to me, and I have and still have an awful lot to learn. And what I've found spending time with those individuals has certainly fast-tracked my knowledge, enabled me, I think, to build good relationships with them. And in turn, I think, in asking lots of those dumb questions, and there were lots of dumb questions and continue to be, I think I've potentially flipped a switch on in them as well with fresh eyes. So, sort of blending what I would say, it's not quite the right words, but the best of old and the best of new together builds a much more powerful collaboration going forward.
Yeah, I was contemplating this question and I thought, well, how do I handle it today? And how I handle it is recognising when I don't have the solution to a particular problem and being really, really good at getting a cross-functional team together so we can solve it together. So it's recognising your strengths, recognising your weaknesses, recognising also, I'm not going to get there by myself, and be really, really good at getting that cross-functional team together, and that's where the solutions generally lie for me.
Probably it's largely been said, but I just think the more everyone can stretch outside of what they currently do in their day job, it's hugely invaluable. I've done jobs that I never thought I would end up doing, and a great example of that is whilst I started my career in finance and strategy to some extent, if someone had said to me one day I'd be running a replenishment function for Australian supermarkets and liquor businesses, I would have said, no way. But what you find is that there are a lot of skills that are really transferable. And if you allow yourself to open your mind, having a go at some of these things, and also being really open to learning, that you'll surprise yourself. And that was certainly a role that I did that really surprised myself. And so whenever I have someone say to me, oh, I don't think I could do that, my first question is, well, why? Because, you know, the only way you actually learn is by having a go. And my kids' school have a great summary about failure. They actually call it first attempt at initial learning. And I think that's so true. And, you know, it's great if you want to stay in finance, or it's great if you want to stay in HR. There's wonderful careers in there, but, you know, you can ground yourself within those roles by stretching outside of them, but you can also open yourself up to other opportunities. And let's face it, probably today's jobs, our children won't be doing. And I'm really conscious that, you know, I'm in my early 40s, sort of. And, you know, over time, in the next 10 years, the roles that are going to be, they're probably going to be very different as well. So unless we stretch and change over that period of time, then, you know, we might run into things to do too.